Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. It is early morning. Not that early. It's 7:30 though. 7:33, September 29th, which is it's Tuesday. Excuse me. Drop stuff. And on the way to the beach, I thought I'd decide to break some patterns or, shift them around a little bit. See what works for me, because I need to get buckled into a routine. Like, that's healthier for me, because these patterns have gone on long enough, and there's only so many ways I can point the finger, even if there's something to point at. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna point the finger here. Need some adjustments, some tweaks to my day. Last video that I uploaded was about a 24-hour turnaround time, and so much can happen in all of that, or nothing at all. So I'm not trying to judge what's come and gone. And I was thinking about my cousins, my first best friends in life, and how I know that they would call me weak sauce, like, for sure. But if they knew that if I was going through something, then they'd lay off. They'd lay off because they know they're friends, and they're good friends. So anyway, what I was trying to say is getting to that point of switching up routines a little, because the last one was just flying by the seat of my pants. And it was good for the healing process, and I'm still healing, but now I need to elevate that healing to different methods. I need to focus. A lot of, like, the constructive criticism that I have received over the course of my many, well, it's enough years, is that I have a lot of great ideas. I have a lot of things that I'm interested in, and you can tell there's potential in all of it, but I choose to embrace all of it at once. So to focus on one or two things, and so that's part of my life lesson. I feel like, I don't know if it's covered in my numerology, but I do know that something I'm struggling with. So today, a lot of people keep talking about the moons and the impact, and I'm included in that too, but it's the realization, almost like when you're about to finish a certain decade or enter a certain decade into your life. It's an awakening in its own. Oh my gosh, I have something stuck in my eye right now. My right eye. Anyway, it's similar to entering a new decade of your life. It's this awakening of where you should, a glimpse of what has gone on in the past. It forces you, yes. And it's partially the humbling of age, but it's like comparing against your expectations, and then the contemplation on whether your expectations were valid or not. It's a lot. There's more to it than that, but that's the first few dominoes of that set. And anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and change a few patterns, and I'm going to go to the beach today, but first I thought I'd get some coffee, and on the way to get some coffee, I was thinking about boundaries. Another thing that I need to, that's part of my life path lesson. There's a buggy coming out of these crevices. Sorry. Anyway. But it's boundaries. And I was trying to figure out boundaries. There's so many ways that you can think about it, consider it anyway, is Okay, I got to the point of understanding that there's a need for boundaries. And then there's the realization, the need to enforce them. And then the realization to maintain them. And then the realization to put up stronger ones, be prepared to set up stronger boundaries, reinforce them if needed, if presented on the spot. And then understanding how to cope with those feelings, because a lot of the times where boundaries are really needed to be put up at the moment are make me freeze. Uh, it, I, it's not even fight or flight, it's just I freeze. And I always thought that was weird in other people. If they get stage fright, they freeze, something like that. But this is not, I don't even know if you could call it stage fright. It's a different categorization. It's in shock. That's what it is. And it's not being shocked in a sense of being appalled. It's a sense of, it doesn't make sense to me, whatever is happening. So, what was I saying about boundaries? Okay. And then came to the realization, boundaries, okay, are set up for self as well as others. And then this morning I was thinking, okay, well, I have to set boundaries on what? Like, let's be specific here. If we want to manifest, we want to be more specific. And I know that's, okay, I'm not going to judge it. Okay. I know this might seem elementary to some people, but some people also need to get, elementary lessons like myself. I saw 7-Eleven on the clock. Anyway, I don't really know what the angel number 7-Eleven is. I just look it up after the work, and it just kind of melds everything together. Uh, anyway, what I wanted to say, what angels, help me out here. No, we're not talking about 7-Eleven here. We're talking about boundaries. How we want to set them up. Yes. Boundaries, yeah. Oh my gosh. It's morning time. I'm not used to being up at this hour yet. So, do we put boundaries up to protect the things that we love, that are most precious to us, to keep outsiders out, or do we set boundaries to contain all that which we don't want running rampant, like Pandora's box almost? So I'm having to choose or figure out what kind of boundaries I want to set up in the initial state of ideation. And let's see here. It depends on how volatile, what kind of, because, you have to figure out what works best for you and your mechanics. And so, as far as what works for me, because the thing is that if you contain anything that is any energy that is expressive as volatile, I don't know. I'm still teetering on that. I just feel like when you contain something that's volatile, it's almost like shaking up a soda bottle, where it's going to create more volatility. It's going to even more disruptive. So let's consider that. And then it's almost being like packed into an area like sardines almost. And it changes the environment. It makes it more uncomfortable. Hence, like quarantine, right? So maybe I'll create boundaries around some things that are more worthwhile. You know, bubble wrap everything, almost spiritually speaking, energetically speaking. Yeah. So I thought that was important to share with others. Just maybe even as a reminder to self later when I tend to forget and feel doomed and stuck. Because I have some answers to help me with protecting myself, but yet I still haven't 12. I haven't implemented at least half of them, which is fine because sometimes the divine presents tools to you, resources, especially if you ask, and I have asked, to put them on your path. And when you do that, options appear. And you're not meant to take all of it. If you want to take all of it, go ahead and take all of it. But at a certain point, it'll burden you. That's for sure. That's what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be shuffling some cards to go through. 11:55 on the clock. Okay, so let's go ahead and go with the Pomo Tarot. I've been meaning to do this again, but I don't know what happened. Or do you want to do a trilogy? Let's do trilogy, because let's do the trilogy of Romantic Tarot. Just a continuation point of Q&A with Spirit. Oh my gosh, this spread was crazy to me anyway. Yes, it was. Oh my gosh, what? No way. Okay, excuse me. I don't know what to say. But I think these things are really important to look at. And excuse me. Don't fall, please. Don't fall, please. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if there's any other messages that want to come through with regards to, it doesn't have to be a continuation, spirit, angels, ancestors, absolutely not. It doesn't have to be. This is going to be, let's go ahead and just clean slate things. You can opt to clean slate things and start anew, or you can continue on from the last messages that you sent us. I am very lucky that I get to go to the beach whenever I want. It's only 30 minutes away. Any beach that I take, it's about 30 minutes away, which is nice. And a lot of things I've taken for granted because of just having it like a security blanket. sorry about that. Okay. It's like it's going to be there tomorrow. And what I noticed is that people do that to people too. It's always going to be there. We do that to our loved ones, don't we? Yes. They're going to be there tomorrow. It's complacency. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. I don't know if that has anything to do with boundaries, but maybe it'll draw it all together in the cards. Who knows? Ooh, I wanted to get something from the Simplified Tarot too. This guy showed up again. Oh, he's presenting his cup. I'm just curious. Do I want to show you this? Okay, just a quick read on this. We have this guy reappearing again. He's the Knave or the Page of Cups. He's presenting his cup of love awkwardly, but in good spirit. He feels like a fool, but, you know, he's making the most of it, and he's doing it in the best way possible, I feel. There's a sense of Six of Swords energy in here, which is still within the healing. It's all like up in the air. His healing is all up in the air. And his throat, solar plexus, sacral, and heart chakras are radiating, are active and healthy. He has a good sense of humor. Then we have the king, or the knight, the Knight of Pentacles. Slowest moving, but he's wishing for a change, because when I see change, yeah, he does have a moment to just like stop and just like chill, doesn't he? Okay, so Knight of Pentacles, slow moving, to wishing for change, to become this Emperor, or this King of Cups. Oh my gosh, he's pouring it. Like, you know, have you seen those challenges where you let the nozzle, you pour, but with the nozzle at a distance from the cup, so people will like stand on countertops or whatever and start pouring. Like, I don't know if it's a real challenge, but I've seen, I don't know, but it's kind of funny. He's like, I don't miss, and I know when it's just enough. Like the back of your hand knowledge in judging the capacity one has to hold for that love. He's not immune to mistakes, because there's still some water spills or whatever down below, but he has a certain amount of confidence. It's funny. And then we have here, he wins the girl, but then another girl is left behind, and she's angry. She's fuming. It's a childhood sweetheart, is what I see. Either that, or somebody moved on, they have a daughter, and she's not liking, you know, children don't respond well to changes in parental relationships. That's what that could be. But I think it's more so a childhood sweetheart, seeing that the guy has moved on. That's the Nine of Wands energy. Oh, there's the boundaries part. I always see Nine of Wands in a visual sense as boundaries. I don't know what this 6 is. Excuse me. 6 or 4. Oh, it's the Emperor. Duh. Oh my gosh, this guy is completely elevating to a point. Okay, he goes from the Page energy to the Knight energy to the King energy. Fluctuations. And then establishing boundaries, he gets to, this is almost like a Six of Cups energy embodied in a different form. I think it's the manifestation of the Page of Wands, I feel like. That energy. Because I can't say, because that's the Six of Cups energy right there. The prior. This is, yeah. I don't know, I get this feeling because of the color coding on here, and that that's a Wands suit, that the Wands are depicted as canes in a sense of support in every step you take. That it's with you, it's reliable, it's handy, it's there. Okay. And it's meant to progress you. Okay. Form of support. But then, so then I see the umbrella at the forefront, and that says a lot to me, being that the umbrella part of it, the cover part of it, is the same color as what the little girl is wearing over here. So it's guarding yourself from the rain, from the shine as well, the harsh conditions of the weather. So I feel like maybe you knew this gentleman knew this girl from back in the day, that this was an established relationship that had to do with something about enduring harsh weather, almost, that she helped him endure harsh weather, and maybe that commitment was heavily based on that and never really grew beyond that point of initiation, that it was always relying on a sense of obligation because of a shared experience of trials and errors through their growth process. So that's what I'm seeing, okay, because the next card is the Emperor, which is 4, which is against stability, and he is completely, he's not like just this courting fellow with his top hat on. He reigns over all. He's well respected, and he's got the stuff to prove it. It's not just the overcoat of wealth and not just his demeanor, but he has the history to prove it. Yes, he earned it. He even has his monocle. How fancy is that? I can see you. Yes. And he responds quickly. I don't know why I have to say that, but okay. There's, on the lamppost, there's 4 on here and 4 on here, so the book ended again. We have a total of 8, which, being light, I would make them equivalent to wand energy, so 8 of wands, but 4 on each side. So it's a sense of vision. It feels like this overarching theme that whatever enters his court, he is willing to observe, understand, and come up with a quick response. Yeah, what were you talking about? Think fast. Whatever throws into his empire or into his home, at the very least, you see the door that he stands in front of, that he's overlooking this, right? There's a sense of regalness, but it's not aloof, because whatever enters into his court is he's going to respond quickly to. Oh, because there's this energy behind it in the transition. It's slow moving. So there has been a complete transition, it appears. Bottom of the deck. Oh man, it's the 4 of Cups. But the energy right now as it presents itself is 4 of Cups. When we look at that, 4 of Cups normally means that it's a sense of feeling deflated, depressed, disillusioned almost, and not seeing what's in front of you, of value, of opportunity. But here is an urging out of that state, if you see it, right? Because he's asking for her hand. She's masked though, so she's kind of protecting herself. Yes, because there's 5 birds in the sky, which is again swords energy, air energy. 5 of swords normally means a false sense of victory. Almost like victory, but with the sense of defeat. And with that, it's like winning the battle, but not really feeling like it, like at what cost. So she's masked, and she has her hat on, which is protecting her union with the divine, and seeking solace with her cat, with her familiar. So she's sitting down, relaxing, and this man approaches her, asking for her hand, and the way it looks like to me, their eye contact, their gaze is locked into each other. That's what's happening. So, I don't know if this has a great deal to do with boundaries other than observing our own, improving our own, as well as understanding that others have theirs and possible reasons why. Yeah. Because this man, he looks like to me, with all of the images involved, that he's almost like a shapeshifter, which could be a very good thing. But when it comes to the opposite sex, or to partner, it tells me that it can be quite confusing and especially derailing, shocking almost. The masculine energy is in the growth process. Many things can change along that path, and we're all